this is David Petro from David Petro Casting and the Executive Director of the Ultimate Performing Arts Workshop Company Broadway Breakthrough. You can see our home screen up here at BroadwayBreakthrough.com, which you can find out more information about our programs on our website. Today, our session is about how to find the perfect audition song for free. This is a follow-up to our last webinar, which is the 9 must-have songs you have to have in your audition book. If you haven't watched that yet, you're going to want to watch that one first before you watch this one so you can know the types of songs that we're searching for. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you how to get them, like I said, for free, using tools we use every day in just a different way than we're used to using them. So we're going to start really simple. So obviously you need a computer to get going with this, or a tablet. And the first thing we're going to do is go to something that we use, and that's Amazon.com. If you do not know the songs that you're looking for, but you do know the types of songs you're looking for from our 9 must-have songs, it's really simple to get started. You don't have to have a title of a song. You don't even have to have an idea of what you're looking for. All you need to know is the genres of music that you're looking for. So what we're going to do is go into any web browser, like I said, and go into Amazon.com. Amazon is great for you, even more so than iTunes, because they have a much bigger Broadway library and soundtrack library. So you're going to want to use Amazon in preference to iTunes, even though iTunes has a fantastic library, but this is a lot easier to search and find music in this way, and I'll show you why. So in Amazon.com, we can simply go to any musical. Say you don't know where you're getting started, you don't even know what to be looking for, but you do know the type of music that you're going to look for, and we're going to say for this start, we're going to go for contemporary musical theater. So you can start with any show. It doesn't matter how popular or how obscure it is, but just to get going, we're going to use a really popular soundtrack. And let's go with Hairspray. Everybody knows and loves Hairspray. It's one of my very favorites. So we're going to go right into Hairspray. But what we're going to do is when we go into this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at, here you'll see digital music. It's right there under the D's. So, and I'm going to show you why. We'll click into digital music and we'll go into Hairspray and just click the search. Now up here is going to be a lot of options. Right now we're looking for a contemporary musical theater piece, so we're going to go ahead and click the original Broadway cast, and you'll see why in a second. So here we are in Hairspray. It's so great, and as we all know, we can just purchase the soundtrack here if we wanted. It'll go right into our MP3 player, and we'll have the music forever. But remember, we're finding music completely for free here. So we're just going to go down and scroll a little bit, and you're going to see, and I'm sure you've all used this tool several times, you're going to see that you can just listen to any of the tracks right here completely for free. So this is going to be our great start to finding music. So say we've never heard Hairspray before and we want to know what the music's like, or we need to find a contemporary musical theater piece, or we need to find a 50s, 60s piece. This would fit in both of those. We're going to go ahead, look at the tracks, and go ahead and listen to one of these MP3s.
Good morning, Baltimore. It's someday when I take to the floor. The world's gonna wake up and see Baltimore and me.
Great. So say we've never heard that before, we've never heard a lot of these songs, and we don't have to buy the soundtrack. You can just go ahead and listen to different tracks and see if there's something here in Hairspray. Look, they list all of the tracks right here, and go ahead and listen to it to see if there's something we like. If we like it, great, then you found your first song. But Hairspray is a very common musical, and a lot of people use the music and know the music well, and we're trying to find the perfect song for you, the song that tells your story, that fits your voice, and is also fits in the show that you're auditioning for. So we're going to do a little bit more research here, and Amazon is a perfect tool. What we're going to do here is scroll down a little bit, and this is the key section. This is really the section that makes the difference, and this is on every Amazon page. That is, customers who bought this item also bought. This is phenomenal. Look at here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices of different shows and 16 different pages. That's a whole lot of options here. And this is the best tool We see it every day. Nobody uses it. So what we could do is now scroll through all these many options. Again, we didn't even have an idea of what we were looking for. But through this, we can really narrow down to something specific for you and a show that maybe you've never heard of or you have heard of and you really liked the music and now you want to listen to the full soundtrack to find out if there's something perfect for you. So you can simply scroll through these pages. All these different pages are going to come up. And you're going to find either music you've never heard before, you forgot you loved, or music that you wanted to explore more and haven't had the opportunity. So we're going to go through and continue to scroll through till we see something really interesting. What I love about this, and we're going to get into a little bit later, but I love to touch on here, is not only are they giving you all these different musical choices, they're also suggesting performers like Kristen Chenoweth here, who are big in the Broadway scene, who have their own soundtracks and their own solo albums. And you're going to find great music here that may or may not be in a show, but by some phenomenal composers. Now currently on Broadway, which is A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. We're going to click on that. And so say you live outside of New York or you haven't had a chance to see a new Broadway show. This is a great tool because look it. You can listen to all of these tracks right here without even spending a dime and finding out if there's a song from A Gentleman's Guide that might be your perfect audition song. So going through this, say you're a female singer, all I have to do is say, oh, look, this is sung by Lisa O'Hare. I'm going to listen to this one.
You're so clever too, and you make me long more than anybody. Why are the men so dreary, Monty, and so deadly dull? No one holds a conversation, offers
and doing something fun, which we do every day, which is search the internet. Another great way to go through this is to, like we said earlier, is to select particular singers. I really love this idea for finding different music that isn't exactly set in a show or a specific piece that's really right for a voice. Where this really works for you is if you know that you are either looking for a soprano piece or a belter piece, you can go to women of that style. Or gentlemen, you have a voice that's very much like, say you're looking for pop music, that's very much like an Adam Levine or very much like an Usher or whatever the genre you're looking for, you can go directly to that artist. This is a great way to use that tool. So say you're looking for a piece that is for a belter. Let's go with a mix so that we can look at somebody different. Let's go with Sutton Foster. She has obviously huge Broadway talent. Lots of shows, but what's great about her, which I love that this popped up immediately, is look at all of her solo albums that are here. So this is going to give you a list of all these songs by album. You can click particular in that album, you can just go by the artist, which is Sutton Foster, and it will give you everything. And again, so great. You get to listen to this for free without even having to pay a dime, and finding something really specific that you know you may have a phenomenal voice like Sutton Foster, so you can go right to her material. This is an incredible tool as well if you know you're auditioning for a particular show to research that composer. I prefer as a casting director when somebody researches that particular composer but doesn't often sing from the show unless we require them to do so. It shows that you're doing your homework, you're preparing yourself as a professional, but you're also giving the casting director and the creative team exactly what they want to see in that audition room. So say you're auditioning for Wicked, which is such a great show. We would then want to research music from either one of the artists or in this case, the particular composer. So we're going to type into our search engine here, Stephen Schwartz, who wrote the music to Wicked. He pops up right automatically here, and you're going to see all of the shows that Stephen Schwartz here has written for, and there's tons. I mean, there's so much here that you probably haven't even realized he's written. In addition to writing Pippin and Godspell and Wicked and Children of Eden, he's also written things like this Uncharted Territory. He wrote the music for Disney's Pocahontas, which we'll talk about Disney in a little bit. All of these great shows. So again, you can click right on one of these particular albums so that you can look at them there. Or you're also going to start to see particular singers who have recorded for Stephen Schwartz. Look at this catalog of songs that are here that you can completely just go into, listen, see if there's something great from here, that you can use for a Wicked or a Stephen Schwartz audition. So going right here, I'm just going to click right on Stephen Schwartz's name so that we get the exact right Stephen Schwartz. Look at all these shows that pop up. And right here, you can listen to one of these songs, which is really, really cool. Look at all these different pages of Stephen Schwartz music. So that's a great tool. So Amazon is one of our top tools that we'll use, and one of the best ones that we can do to find new music for free, but we're not even close to done yet. Something really great that people don't realize or just don't pay attention to when finding audition music is that most of the musicals start in the West End. You look at all of the Andrew Lloyd Webber shows, about 80% started in the West End before they even came to the States. Even Disney shows start in the West End first too. Mary Poppins started in the West End and was there for 3 years before it even came to Broadway. Shows like Desperately Seeking Susan, which is based off the Madonna movie and musical Blondie, never even made it past the West End stage. Billy Elliot, with incredible music from Elton John, was in the West End for 3 years before it came to the States. So there's all this phenomenal music and musicals that are launching in the West End that are there for years, which become the big songs that we perform for auditions once they hit Broadway. But what about all the years before they even hit Broadway? You'd have this music first and before anybody else, which is huge. So, we all know Virgin Mobile, Virgin Music, Virgin Airlines. Well, they were purchased by a music library company called HMV. HMV used to be very big in the States, and it's a great tool just like Amazon for finding music. So what we'll do is we'll simply go to hmv.com. There it pops up. I go to it all the time, and you'll see why in a second. Very much like Amazon, we're able to use this fantastic tool to find music. So we're going to go ahead and click into All Music right here. Again, you don't even have to know a show that you're looking for. You don't have to have a particular song. You just know that you're going to be looking for music. So we're going to go here. It says HMV Digital. Again, we always want to go to the digital so that we make sure that it's a song that we can listen to. Again, not knowing a particular show or song that we want, we can start from the scratch. We're going to continue with this theme of looking for contemporary musical theater because that's where most of us have to find music for first. But remember, there's 9 different songs you have to do this homework for your audition book so that you always have the perfect audition song regardless of the audition. So we're going to go ahead and type in Billy Elliot since it's one of them that I brought up and it's such great music that we all love. So here you go. It's right here, Billy Elliot the musical. I'm going to click on that album. And once again, so great. This is actually from the soundtrack, but this works for us as well. Right here, we can listen to all of the tracks without even spending a dime. Great. So we know that song. They didn't use it in the musical. But what's incredible about this is, here we go. My favorite thing, either More by this artist, which is great, and here. You might also like. It's very much similar to the customers who also bought this. And here we go. All of these pages of music suggestions based off of our original search. So no matter whether we know exactly what we're looking for or we don't even have a clue, these suggestion boxes are going to lead us through finding our best possible music. So using HMV is an incredible tool. I'm going to go to Desperately Seeking Susan so you can see. There it is. So great. So here's a musical that never even made it out of the West End, and it's such great music. It's all music we know and love from Blondie, so this would go into a pop category or would go into musical theater. But what's great about this is it was written for the stage. So it's already arranged and perfectly placed so you can use music like this. Great. So here we go. We've now found all this music on the West End. Never even came to the States. We can get it and use it before anyone else. And remember, we still haven't even spent a dime of money yet to find all this great music and just playing on the internet, which we all know and love to do. But there's still a lot of great ways to find music for free. So we've done Amazon, searching through our music. We've been able to listen to tracks. We've been able to search by particular musicals. We've had customers who bought this, have given us suggestions. We've been able to search by particular solo artists, pop artists, and also composers. Then we bumped over to hmv.com just to do a general search of what's happening in the West End. You can always go online and look and see what's happening in the West End. Then come over to HMV, listen to the tracks, and see if there's something perfect for you. And moving on from here, HMV, such a great tool. We're going to go to something called the Internet Broadway Database. There we go, IBDB. For those of you who what the site is a catalog and a database of everything that's ever happened on Broadway since the beginning of Broadway. It's a really great tool. Say you're looking up particular shows that are currently on Broadway, upcoming shows, they list them here. And a really great tool if you're looking for what's happened from a particular artist or actor on Broadway. You can chart the shows. A lot of us have used this over and over again just to gather information. But what people don't realize is what a great source this is to find audition material. So there's a couple of great ways. Say you are looking at a particular artist to track their career. Let's use somebody phenomenal like Idina Menzel. So there's Idina. Of course, she's phenomenal, we know. So say, you are auditioning for a show that Idina did perform in. You can use IBDB to track her career. But something that's much cooler than that, to use IBD, that people do not use ever, is just by scrolling down, you'll see these two boxes here. This is really cool. So born on this date is the list of all actors who have ever performed on Broadway who were born on today's date, which I'm recording this on February 21st. So by clicking on today's date, you see all of the performers who have ever been born on this date, which is really cool. And why this is important is you can choose any date. There's 365 days of the year. You can click on Corbin Bleu from Disney High School Musical. It'll list the shows that he's been in, which is great. So say you've never heard of In the Heights. You can then go back to Amazon, type in The Heights. Right there. And then you can listen to In the Heights. Great music, one of my favorite shows that's been written in the last couple of years. Great music.
Who's around the way, holler at me when I'm walking down the street.
Such a great tool. So just by going right there, I found from that particular performer who was born on this date, a whole new way to search music without having even an idea of what I was looking for. Going back to the home screen again, you'll see Opening Nights in History. This is my favorite. Clicking on Opening Nights in History, again, you can put any date of the year. There's 365 days in the year. It's going to give you a list generally of anywhere from 20 to 70 different shows in history that opened on this date. How cool is this? One of my very favorite musicals, second favorite. No, pretty equal. Into the Woods and Sunday in the Park with George actually opened for the first time today in 2008, Sunday in the Park with George. So you can go through the catalog of all the shows that have been here. Look, it starts all the way back to 1853. And I can tell you, unless you are a vampire, you probably have never seen the show First Come, First Served. Great, great tool. So here we can go through this and find one of these shows that look interesting to me, and I've never even heard of it before. And we can then, let's see, some of these might be plays. That's the only thing that you have to be careful for. But anything that's open on Broadway will be here. And we can then go back, let's see, How about Elaine Stritch at Liberty? Let's do that one. And we can then paste that right into here. And look at there, recording right there of it. Go to this page. You can listen to it all for free, which is incredible.
She didn't rat on me this time. She didn't have to. I took care of that myself the next morning upstairs.
And then, look at here. Customers who bought this also bought. Look at all of these lists of shows and other performers who we didn't even think about. If comedy pieces from Bette Midler, More by Elaine Stritch, Partners by Barbara Streisand, Company, which Elaine Stritch starred in. Now you start to see how much fun this is and how much work you actually need to do to find the perfect audition songs. But it's fun work. You're playing on the internet and it's completely for free. Incredible. Another tool. You're like, really? Can there be more? I have so much homework to do already. But really, this is fun work. Just like IMBD, there is Lortel. Lortel.com, just like IBDB, is the catalog for all of the off-Broadway shows. There's so much that happens on Broadway, but there's just as much that happens on off-Broadway. So right here, such a great tool. You can then go through all of the information that's ever been off-Broadway. So we're going to go ahead and type in, click on the Lortel Foundation right there, which is the first option. And really simply, so that we're not looking at plays, I'm going to type in musicals and go. And it's going to give you, there's Musical of Musicals, which was a great show off Broadway, at the York Theatre Company. Great. Look at, by typing in the word musical, look at all of the shows that come up that have been off Broadway. Look at such a long list. Bet you haven't even listened or heard of some of these. So now, once again, you know, your interns start off Broadway. I worked in a show for many years called Altar Boys that was off Broadway that never made it to the Broadway stage. Tons and tons of shows and great musicals. Clue, based off of the big board game. Again, great musicals. So what we do, copy it, go back to Amazon. Fela, which was a musical I really enjoyed. Click on it, and then you can listen to the soundtrack again. Such a great tool. Great, great, great. So, Lortel, like IBDB, great, great, great tool. So the last last two tools that I'm going to show you are in finding Disney music. Again, if you haven't listened to the track about the 9 songs, Disney is a huge category in our 9 songs. Disney produces everything on Broadway, all of their shows, but what's also really great about it is the composers who write for the Disney shows are also Disney composers for Broadway. What's great about Disney is they will merchandise anything, anything. So when looking for a Disney song or for looking for new music, I suggest going to YouTube. We can start with something really simple like Little Mermaid. And the catalog of all of this is going to pop up, which is great. But what's also really, really great is you're going to start to see things like Little Mermaid Season 1, Episode 2, Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. And it's going to give you all of these great options of not only the really known popular Disney music, but also Little Mermaid 2, Little Mermaid 3, and all the other options who, great news, were also written by the same composers, Alan Menken and Tim Rice, who also wrote Beauty and the Beast and most of the big Disney musicals, but also most of the big Broadway shows, which is great. Now I'm going to teach you the last bit of the puzzle, which is we found all this music, we've done all this research, we've done Amazon, we've done HMV, we've gone to IBDB and researched their database, we've researched the Lortel database, we've looked at Disney music through YouTube. We're going to go to musicnotes.com. This is the last step. When you've done all this research, you've listened to music completely for free, and now you're ready to buy your music. In the past, we used to have to buy all these musical books and CDs, listen to them all, spend all this money on these books, hoping that there was just one song that would be right. Here, we've already narrowed down the music that we need for free, and we can go into musicnotes.com, purchase just that sheet of music, print it out right at from your home computer and your home printer. There you go. You're spending maybe $3 to $5 as opposed to thousands of dollars for all this music you'll never use. So, I identified some great music here. So let's go ahead and say we go back from the start. We did decide to go to Hairspray, even though I wouldn't recommend it because it's too popular. But we'll go to Hairspray and we listen to Good Morning Baltimore, and there it is right there. It's a great catalog of music. So we're going to click on this. Now, some other great tools about Music Notes, beyond that it only costs you $5.75, you can print this out and you have it forever, is that you can listen to it right here and it will teach you your music. This is incredible. We used to have to, and currently we still pay for voice lessons and go to voice lessons to learn our notes before we can even learn how to really perform and tell the story of the song. So right here we can click play. And there we go. It highlights the notes for you. Great. It highlights the notes for you as you saw in the red there. And then it also plays the melody so you don't get distracted by all the accompaniment part. It really plays the medley that you have to learn. Incredible tool. Learn it right there. So before you even buy it, you find out if this is the right song for you, but also if it is in your key. Because the other step is right here, which is pretty cool. You can transpose the music right here. Say that's too low for you or too high for you. You can click right onto this. It automatically transposes the music for you. You can play it right from here. And now you'll see it's much lower. Play it and make sure that this is the right key for you. All there. This is incredible. It can cost you anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on the size of music, to transpose a song into your key and to get the sheet music. And you always have to have the sheet music for the audition. So here's a tool that did it completely for you, for free, before you even spent the money. You transpose it, pay for it only $5.75 right here, which is nothing for a piece of music. Print it out, and then you have all your songs. So there are my great tips about how to find your audition music for free. You can use all of these tools. There will be a downloadable sheet with each one of these webinars listing this. I hope you enjoyed your time. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you find some fantastic audition pieces. I can't wait to see you in the audition room and see you in the summer at Broadway Breakthrough.